Hey, it's Brock here from Rock Hill Farms, and today we're going to take an in-depth look at this Mccormick 55 horsepower cab tractor. We'll go around the exterior and the interior, look at all the features, we'll cover all the specs, and then I'm going to talk about the brand of Mccormick. And it's a legacy brand that everyone's familiar with, but who makes them today? Are they worth buying? How is this machine right here, how does it compare to the other brands I've looked at? How does the price compare? We'll get into all of that. Now, if you're new here and you just found this video by search or something, I went through about 2 months ago and I did a comparison of 55 horsepower brands from every single manufacturer, everyone that I could find. I missed Mccormick, I might have missed maybe 1 or 2 other that are lesser known brands. If you're in the market to buy a 55 horsepower cab tractor, I recommend that you click the playlist under this video, and I'll have about 10 or 12 videos going through the entire 55 horsepower cab tractor market, looking at every single model. Now let's get started and take a look at this tractor. So on the front, you get all the standard things. It's a skid steer quick attach bucket. Comes with a puppy dog. Oh, nope, that's not included. Here's your kickstands, which tells you that it's going to be a detachable loader, which it obviously is. Here's your pins for that. While we're up here, let's go ahead and get the model number. This is an X1.55. The X1 is a series of tractors that I believe ranges from 25 horsepower all the way to 55. The second 2 numbers tells you the horsepower range. So this is a 55 horsepower tractor. The loader is a C18. Within the X1 range, you have different loader options. The C18 is the largest, and to full height it lifts 2,100 pounds. To 60 inches it lifts 2,600 pounds. That's not a bad number, but it's also not at the top of the lift. As far as engines, this has a Kook J engine in it. Now, when I did my top 5 tractors I would buy video, I spent a good portion of the time talking about how much I like the Kook J engines, why I think it's the best engine for your compact tractor, and why I have one at my house. So the Mccormick has a Kook J engine. We've got a nice beefy step low to the ground here for entry from this side, although the door is locked. I've got the keys to it since we're planning to start it up. See if we can get in here from the side. You definitely can. This is a little bit of an obstruction. See what size tires we have on this. 16.9 by 24. That is the most common size tire for a 55 horsepower tractor. That's what almost all of the brands have. The TYM is a little bit bigger tire. We've got telescoping stabilizers. We have extendable draft arms. 2 features that are a must-have for this class of tractor. We have dual rear remotes, which come standard. When asking the dealer about the difference that he shows his customers between a Bobcat tractor and the Mccormick, he said the Mccormick comes fully loaded, all standard options. The price you see includes almost all of the premium features. Whereas the Bobcat, you're more likely to be able to buy it as a base tractor or tack on all of the other things. The height of the cab, the size of the cab, it all feels very similar to all the Korean tractors I've looked at. The Coyote, the Bobcat. The TYM is just a little bit bigger and sits a little bit higher as far as the 574. The fuel tank is in the same place. It's got nice beefy front tires. The grill guard, the hood, all of this is very familiar to what I'm used to at home. The cab is a little smaller than mine and sets a little bit lower, but really the tractor I have at home is an oddity in the comparison series because it's just slightly bigger than all the others. This is not smaller. This is a bigger cab than the John Deere, and it's at least as big as all the other manufacturers I've looked at. It is really hot, so we're going to get the air conditioner going. All right, so our emergency brake, make sure we're on air instead of heat. Push that for the AC, cold, fans all the way up. So what we're looking up here, these are our front and rear lights, front and rear wipers. Then we've got our air conditioner controls, speakers, vents, dome light, a stereo here, all the niceties you would look for. Now, this is not a tractor with a ton of extra features. And you'll remember in my TYM spotlight, I talked about how I kind of like that. But here's your control levers for the dual rear remotes. Ideally, they'd be up here. This isn't terrible. Nice big levers. Looks like this one has a detent and this one doesn't. With the PTO, you've got automatic or independent. And the difference is, if you want your PTO to shut off when you pull the lever, you've got that option. I don't know if that's something I would use a lot, but it's an option this tractor has. Here's your 3-point lever. Here we have your cruise control, which is a magnet that locks the pedal in place. It's kind of a mechanical cruise control. Here you have your manual regen. Here you have your hazards. This is your 3-range transmission. You got A, B, neutral, and C. It engages fairly easily without pushing on the pedals, which is something I kind of look for. It's a little bit annoying if you have to always push the pedal to engage. Here we've got a charging port. This machine does not have an array of extra features here, like load match and all of those types of things I've talked about before. Got a big throttle lever here. Here we have our light controls. This looks like the exact same set of light controls on my tractor. I will push this and the emergency brake will go off. I'm going to lift the loader. Feels pretty familiar to me. That's a good, comfortable joystick location. The only thing that's a little bit weird is if I use this as an armrest, I'm pushing those buttons. So you probably want to put your arm more down here, whereas I was tempted to put it up here. All right, let's go into medium range. Here we have the 2-pedal system like you would expect. Couple things that I didn't mention earlier is here is your 4-wheel drive engage and disengage. Here is your diff lock, and your PTO is down here. Now you have a 540 and a 540E. At 540 RPMs on the PTO, you run the engine at 2,500 RPMs. If you use the ePTO, then to run at 540 PTO RPMs, you're at around 1,800 RPMs. So if you're doing light duty work that doesn't take every bit of horsepower the engine has, you can save a lot of fuel using the ePTO at 800 RPMs less. So now let's talk about specs. In terms of the size and weight of the machine, it's very standard compared to the competitors. It lifts 3,300 pounds on the back of the tractor, which is above average. It lifts a little over 2,000 pounds on the front, like I mentioned earlier, which is a little bit below average. Now, how about the price? So a finance price on this tractor today with the cab, the heat and AC, all of the added features, is around $53,000, which puts it above average, but not at the top of the market for price. And if you wanted a cash price for this today, you'd be at $48,000. So right in the middle of the price range between the most expensive being Kubota at $61,000 for a comparable model and the TYM at $36,000. So who makes Mccormick's tractors? Well, the company is owned by Agro, which is a company based out of Italy. The McCormick line is Italian, and the larger McCormick tractors are made by Agro. McCormick is still very active in the large ag tractor market. They're less known for these smaller compact tractors, but they don't make their own compact tractors, which is very common in the industry. This McCormick tractor is essentially a Branson tractor. They had a partnership with Branson to build their tractors in the 25 horsepower to 55 horsepower range. Now TYM owns Branson, so this is technically made by TYM in Georgia or Texas or wherever they're making this specific model. I was able to find this machine at 5 Star Ranch and Home about 30 minutes from me, so pretty convenient. Anyway, I appreciate you taking time to watch this video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.